two. All right.
Right.
Hello, everybody. We're going to be going over the pH and CO2, is otherwise known as the acid-base balance. Welcome to our home. I'm Sean Miller, and I got my wife Lois Miller on camera. She's running the video. Okay, let's start here. When it comes to acid-base, we're dealing with two different things: pH balance and CO2. pH stands for potential hydrogen ions. That's why it's got the capital H. And the CO2 we'll go over here in a little bit. First of all, normal pH balance when it comes to human beings is 7.4. We're all slightly acidic, but this is what we need to know right here. Okay, the next thing it comes to, when it comes to our CO2, is 35. Just know that magic number, 35. If it's too high, if it's over like 36, 37, it's more, the arrow's going to be pointing up. If it's under 35, the arrow's going to be pointing down. Now it's a game of arrows, okay? Notice if we got low pH, the arrow's pointing down, okay? If the CO2 is over 35, it's going to be high, okay? So pH is low, our CO2 is high. pH, let's say the pH is over 7.4. It's going to be considered an alkaline. So the arrow goes up. And let's just say, for argument's sake, here too, the CO2 is up. Now, I'm not naming anything yet. We'll go down here. The pH is down. And we'll say the CO2 is down. And here, we will say the pH is up. And we will say the CO2 is down. Okay. All right. Now we have to name what's going on here. pH, if the pH is down, it's an acid. Best way to remember this, pointing down towards your ass, it's an acid. If its pH is pointing up towards the sky, and my daughter's going to tell you too, if it's pointing up to the sky, it's an alkali. Sky, alkali, to your ass, it's an acid. Okay? Next thing, the CO2. Notice which way the arrows are pointing there. If the arrow is pointing the same way the pH is pointing, if the arrow is pointing the same way in the CO2 as it's pointing the pH, it's metabolic. Okay? So if you say same, S-A-M-E, M here back, M-E, metabolic. Okay, just remember that. Same, metabolic. If the arrows are reversed, okay, if the pH is pointing down and the CO2 is pointing up, it's reversed. If the pH is pointing up and the CO2 is pointing down, that's also reversed. So reverse, think, reverse, R-E, respiratory. Okay? So, let's get ready to name these. pH is down. It's an acid. CO2 is pointed up. So it's reversed. So it's respiratory acidosis. pH is pointing up. It's pointing to the sky. So it's alkaline. CO2 is pointing the same way. Same way. Metabolic alkalosis. pH pointing down, pointing towards your ass, it's an acid. The arrow's pointing the same way, metabolic. Metabolic acidosis. pH pointing up, sky, alkali. This is pointing reverse. So it's respiratory alkalosis. Okay? Now, I know that looks real easy. It is. You just got to practice it. Now, if it's metabolic acidosis, there's certain things that's going on. In metabolic acidosis, the body produces too much acid, or the kidneys are not removing enough. So, for example, if it's metabolic acidosis, it's probably diabetic ketoacidosis. It can also be severe diarrhea. It can also be liver failure, alcohol abuse, Okay, even some cancers can cause this, even along with many seizures can cause the metabolic acidosis. Respiratory alkalosis is usually caused by hyperventilation. Metabolic alkalosis is usually indicative of kidney failure or liver failure. Respiratory acidosis is usually due to respiratory failure. Thank you for your time. And me and Aaron and Mickey Mouse say thank you.